Let's start with Florida State Louisville. Louisville up 21-0 in the first half. They go in the half up 21-7, and they blow that lead to Florida State. We know Louisville's a solid team, but I think the bigger story here is Florida State. I really don't. There's two games I think they can lose. They can lose to Miami next week or Florida the last week of the season. Even if they do beat both of those teams and they go undefeated, I don't think they're a team I don't think they're a national championship caliber team. They haven't looked like it all season. We had a lot of close games last week, like I was saying. TCU, West Virginia, that was another close game. 1-point win for TCU. TCU, Boykin didn't look great at all.
Bad.
Yes, he did, but they found a way to win, which is what they have to do. The Big 12 is going to beat up on each other. The Big 12 is a tough conference to rank just because they don't have – it's the only major conference left where everyone plays everyone still.
Right.
And you don't have a championship game at the end of the year. So it's tough. Oklahoma is up there every year, but you can count on Oklahoma to drop one game that they have no business dropping every season. Baylor, same thing. The last couple of years, they've been really good. They got on the uptick with RG3, but you can count on them to drop at least one game every year now too. So another good game we had this week was Auburn, Ole Miss.
Right.
That was a real close game. Ole Miss almost won it. They were about an inch away from winning it. If Treadwell doesn't break his leg at the end of the game they're probably still a one-loss team. They played a really good game. I see them struggling without him for the rest of the season, but Bo Wallace is good enough. I think they'll be a 3-loss team at the end of the year. Ole Miss has had a couple of top 5 recruiting classes now, and you're starting to see that talent translate onto the field, which is nice for Ole Miss fans.
Right now, do you think that the playoff committee has it right? They have Florida State, or they have Mississippi State, Florida State, Auburn, Oregon. Do you think that's correct?
I think that's for where we are in the season. I'd say that's about right because obviously they're not going to put 3 SEC teams in the playoffs. That's not going to happen. They're going to beat up on each other, and then you have the SEC championship game. Right now, I have no problem with it being the way it is. I think Oregon deserves to be in there. I figured Alabama might be in there over Auburn, but that's fine. They play each other at the end of the season in the Iron Bowl, so that'll get straightened out. I'd say they got it right. I'm going with TCU. I've been with them all season. I like Boykin. Bad week last week. I think he bounces back. Kansas State's always a decent team, but I don't think they'll be able to ride out that one loss for the rest of the season. I'm taking TCU. It'll be interesting to see. If Ohio State wins this, it'll be interesting to see what happens because they shouldn't lose a game for the rest of the season. Michigan's always a big game, so even though Michigan's record won't be that great, that's still a big game. If they win the Big Ten Championship and they go on to the playoffs or some type of major bowl game, it'll be interesting to see what happens because Ohio State and Urban Meyer already said that Braxton Miller will have his job when he comes back. So if they only have one loss this season, that'll be interesting to see what happens going into next season.
Definitely. All right, upset pick of the week.
I'm going to take Texas over West Virginia just because I know how good of a coach Charlie Strong is from when he was at Louisville. He recruits Florida well. He's a Florida guy. He's going to have that market in Texas and California just because that Longhorn brand. He's going to get this thing turned around. Maybe not this year, but next year I think they'll start to get this thing back on track, and it's going to start this week against West Virginia. Jerry Rice came out earlier this week and said that he does not believe that Jim Harbaugh will be back. I think this whole Harbaugh and GM rift that they're having is gonna hang over the Niners' heads all season. I think that they lose this game to New Orleans. They're gonna lose a lot of games because of everything that's up in the air for next season. They got a lot on their plate. I'm taking New Orleans. I just want to give a shout out to Duke Johnson and Miami. 3 straight wins. They got the bye this week, and then I can't wait for next week's show when I finally get to talk about Florida State versus Miami. I've been waiting all season. I did it last year, and they got romped. I did it the year before, and they got romped. This is Miami's year. They're turning it around. Let's go Al Golden. Let's go Canes. It's all about the U.